Hello, good morning to another great edition. Ewo Fifi Manfred on YouTube. Yes, Fifi Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us on Fifi Manfred on YouTube. Say, I've been watching it for the first time. Thank you. Hi, Fifi Manfred on YouTube. We bring you the best of updates on everything that's going on in the world of sports. And of course, I want to subscribe to the channel now. It's important. Say you pause the video now, go back and subscribe to the channel. Very, very imperative because there's a lot to unpack for you on all fronts of the things that I've seen in the world of sports today. Let us discuss and get into the details. Again, making sure say you turn on notification. Or the oko or subscribe you. I want a bell be at our corner on for sub bosso. Who wants our best subscribers? So and also so yeah. Anytime be a video be a drop you are the first person I will be going to. Of course, subscribe to the channel, then turn on notification, and the most important thing is that we say share link, share link no ma ubia for groups every football group be Real Madrid group, Barcelona group, Inter Milan group, everything that we do here everywhere in the world of sports, it is shared to every group be our home everywhere that you want. Of course, thank you very much. Say what you see and Ewa Hasi. And there's a lot of things to unpack for you. Unim, this is exactly what Chelsea wanted. Like so Niema Ekosumina, Adiana Chelsea Pepper any. And for me, Emma Niema a little bit clearer going into the summer, and we'll discuss that into detail because also in terms of finances, in terms of the football on the field of play, in terms of what they wanted their players to do, this is the stage where they wanted exactly near Kosumina at Chelsea Football Club, and we'll talk about that as well. There is also the bit about Chelsea have now gone on to meet the entourage of a big striker, and I don't know who you would choose. Say Chelsea and Konkofa Victor Osimhen. I'll tell you about their various skill sets. We'll just oppose them together. No one make you choice. Chelsea Kofa, Abrante friend Benjamin Sekou from RB Salzburg, and now say Victor Osimhen, 77 million, 105 million versus 50 million. Who are you buying? And when you say in the summer, the purchase for a striker is going to be the most important thing. But what Chelsea have done, and they say they've gone on to go and look for one of the most promising striker Omahako signed on, and in his straight, he's also Nigerian, straight in terms of quality, hold up play, goal scoring. And at least as you said, this guy definitely is going to go straight into it. So you better discuss this, but let's start it like this. See, the Euros never work also in the summer. It's going to be a very, very exciting tournament. And why do I say this? So Oshe games are also in the last few days from Enra and Rechi. The teams are playing each other. I told you about Germany versus France. Yesterday there was Spain versus Brazil. Now, top game. Look at the quality of the Spanish team. Their new manager, De La Fuentes, original touchline. Then look at the English team against Belgium. The Belgian team, you want to say Eden Hazard, I retire. They were without even Kevin De Bruyne, but that is quality in that Belgian squad. And with Johan Bakayoko on that one side, there is also Jeremy Doku on the other side. And of course, Abrante friend Romelu Lukaku. Belgium don't want to use the pace a lot of the time to assure that midfield enforcers of Amadou Nana, Yuri Tillemans, was very good against the Clan Rice, and then Kobe Mainoo and Phil Foden, and then Jude Bellingham. Excellent display. And at the back, of course, the Belgians have a mix of experience. There's Leandro Trossard also in that Belgian shape up. So it's a strong team in Euros. Then you look at the groups across Europe. But yesterday, this was the biggest goal that has been scored in this young boy's life. And I don't think, say, as a young man, he ever believed this will be team should go, say, to be very honest with you. Baby or free by as a young boy, with everything that has happened to his country. And you know, the funny thing is that in about a year ago, he was denied the penalty against Italy to automatically qualify his country to the Euro 2024, and he didn't get a penalty. Now he has gone through the playoff stage. Is not waiting in mind. And mind you, they are not playing at home; they are playing home away from home. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Mikhailo Modric, quality player. And now, I think that the confidence of Mikhailo Modric is going to be over the roof as it stands now, because Oshebo and boy how he scored that goal, how important he is for Ukraine, and how important that goal is for Ukraine as a nation. If you look at the quality of Sabo boy, and you just oppose it to the confidence and now was starting at Chelsea Football Club. You are tempted to believe say this is a player that's going to have a lot of quality in the games that are going to go on. But let's start like this. And now, Abrante Feni Mihailo Modric scored a very, very important goal. Very, very important goal. And add up to the number of goals that Mihailo Modric share from central areas. Maybe, just maybe, he may be that guy that you need in central areas. That he received the ball in those areas, his ball striking ability in those areas, ball reception, his close control, his dribbling, all of those things in tight spaces, ball reception in between the lines, now very excellent. Now, yesterday's goal was like that. And for me, everything that Ukraine has gone through, everything that his country has gone through, if you look at what's happened to them about 2 years ago when Russia invaded their country, then everything that went on, his team, Shakhtar Donetsk, had to train away from Ukraine. They had to train in neighboring Poland. Now, the Ukraine national team is actually based in Poland. They play their home games over there. Most of the teams that are supposed to be in Ukraine play their home games in Poland. All of these things, what their president Vladimir Zelensky to make sure say they are out of these things. And they almost try to use football as a tool to get Ukraine to the highest level. Almost try very, very hard. Almost qualify for the World Cup. Now they've gotten success and they've qualified for the Euros, which is very, very important to them. And what a time and how much person to score than Abrante friend Mihailo Modric. I think that with everything that he has gone through at Chelsea, this was a very, very important goal for him. Very, very important goal for him. And everyone the confidence now got very, very top in terms of the kind of game of beating. On Saturday, Chelsea was a big game against Burnley. Now you look at everything that this boy has shown. That was our game number it tells you say he's a quality player. Oshe Sabo now the display on the board, the how he was able to score that goal now very, very important in that regard. So somebody like Mihailo Modric is very, very important. That goal makes it even better as a player. And then you look at everything that he has in there Arsenal. How is it going to translate that confidence from Ukraine now or from Neymar into the former Chelsea Football Club? Because in recent games he began to show glimpses of quality on and off the ball. So definitely Chelsea fans would hope that he will show them even more games on by body. So we'll look at that into detail. But first of all, Europe groups the Europe groups are out. The Euro groups are out, and of course the process has been completed. In Group A, of course, Germany hosting first game but Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. I think that's a fair group for Germany. Team. I saw a bit of dynamism, a bit of changes or how he wanted to play as a manager. And for me, I said it long ago. Says also Germany team now. If you get Toni Kroos on the ball, the only thing that they lacked or they needed was somebody who was going to be a grass eater and an off the ball distance cover for that German team, and he got it in Endrich. In that game that he played against France, he was excellent on and off the ball, especially off the ball, where he had to be smart enough to watch his positioning, when to win the ball, when to play for it, all of these things. And I think that Abrante Endrich was top notch in everything that he did for the German national team. Then in Group B, there is Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Another very, very difficult group for anybody to be in, of course, because Spain is a tough team under De La Fuentes. They are playing some good stuff. They play very well. Of course, I'm losing my last game before the Brazil game, but through our qualifications, near perfect in terms of what they will give you on and off the ball. And the Spaniard team is good with Rodri in the middle of the park, Marco Correa being tried, Lamine Yamal, excellent player, Pedri, Gavi, they are back into the team, solid. Then, like the likes of Americ Laporte from centre back in there, Unai Simons, a very, very good team. Alvaro Morata has found himself in Atletico de Madrid. So it's a very good Spanish team going into the Euros not come the summer. There's Croatia, there's Italy, and then of course Albania. I told you Croatia, very good team. Albania, Nemanja Musa, the old guard, Matthew Kovacic, Luka Modric, Ivan Rakitic, Marcelo Brozovic, more and not the guys that used to be in that middle third area. But of course, there are new guys that are coming. Just go Vardiol, all top players, and we'll see how the Croats team will go. Every time you Croatia back up any tournament, they are always unassuming. They always look at the team that may not really go far and all of those things, but eventually they're able to pull up a surprise. So you don't want to write off team at your friend in Croatia. There's Italy, one of my favorite teams personally, because of course I love Luciano Spalletti as your manager, and also game someone he's trying a lot of things. I'm particularly keeping an eye on Italy. They're a very, very good team. One of the defending champions of the Euros, and everything shows that this is a quality side. And there's Group C, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and then England. Group D, Netherlands, Australia, Austria, France, and then Poland. Group E, Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. In there, I think that's a fair group for a team like Ukraine to hold their own against the other teams. Group F, there's Turkey, Portugal, Czech Republic, and then Georgia. That's a tough team. Team to be in. England, Group C, fairly good one for them. France, Group D, fairly good one for them. Then the Dutch, that's a very tough one against Austria, which was a very good team. The Polish team is also very, very solid there. Then F, Turkey, Portugal, Czech Republic, and then Georgia. The Portuguese teams are a very, very good side, and Roberto Martinez is doing an excellent job. So that was just by way of the preview of the Euros. But there are lots to talk about it. Let us go on with it. Mikhailo Modric yesterday scored that very, very important goal to take Ukraine into the Euros. 4 months ago, Modric in a penalty. They failed to give it to him, and 4 months later, he has come to score the winning goal for his team to move forward. In there, I've seen Brazil team, and I saw two things: Vinicius Junior and Endrick. I mean, all of a sudden, everybody is beginning to accept say Endrick is the new kid on the block in terms of the quality, in terms of the display on the ball, in terms of the hold-up play, the dribbling ability, taking on teams, playing from the back. All of those things now are usually you get from a young budding attacker. He has it and even more. And I think that the mental profile of a lot of these South American players, and I've said it several times, is the reason why they get to where they get to. Because seriously, social media say Endrick, although he's 18 years or 17, whatever, you can tell that he's a boy that knows exactly what he wants, and he has set his eyes on something. Scoring at Wembley and then coming to score at Santiago Bernabeu in a week, a big stuff for any player at all. And that's exactly what I'm getting from him. I have the conversation about Vinicius Jr., the racism chant, he crying in press conferences. I think that goes to it. I think that, of course, the Spanish people are not justified to racially abuse Vinicius Jr. But again, he as a player also has to stop rallying up fans. You can't every time they go to Obi home and Obi fee, especially at Atletico de Madrid and Barcelona, aware now you are going to rally up the fans. I mean, sometimes he has to also be measured in some of his celebration and showboat, Of course, that's no justification to the racism issues now. But Madrid have on their hands some top guns. I don't know how they are going to manage Endrick, Mbappe, and then Vinicius Jr. How many minutes on Bema, Endrick, and Mbappe team? But that's a top set of talent up top for Madrid team, But see, this is exactly what Chelsea wanted. Chelsea planned throughout this season and towards the summer. It's simple. The plan is to make sure that there's a bidding war for their players. And there are two key players. First of all, Romelu Lukaku, what he has said, Roma cannot pay the full sum to buy him over Italy. So last season, Chelsea wanted to take him to Saudi Arabia. Romelu Lukaku said no one goes to Saudi Arabia. He wants to play in Europe again, at least one more time before he goes to Saudi Arabia. Then Juventus issues, they pulled out of it. Juventus can only get Romelu Lukaku if they sell Dusan Vlahovic. They're unable to sell Dusan Vlahovic. Chelsea didn't want Dusan Vlahovic. Then there was a case of Internacional Milan, which was already closed because he was flirting with Juve. Then Roma comes in on loan. He goes in there. That's not enough. Chelsea wants good money to balance their books in the summer. So it's a very, very big thing for them. And for the very first time, their indications say about Romelu Lukaku may be looking away to go to Saudi Arabia. Because at Saudi, Chelsea already are in a very good relationship with the Saudi PFI, Saudi Investment Fund people. And don't forget, it's already been run by former Chelsea sporting director Michael Emenalo. So they go back to him, have discussions, and hope that they can strike a deal for players like Romelu Lukaku. Now, the better part of the conversation for Chelsea is that they look as if there's going to be a bidding war for Ian Maatsen. It is a washer. Ian Maatsen see a player away from Chelsea Academy. So it's going to be total profit for Chelsea, fresh money, uninterrupted stuff for them. Now, Ushe Obi saying Ian Maatsen went to play at Dortmund on loan, and everybody knows that he's delivering. Now, the case of Alphonso Davies or Bayern also makes it a little bit dicey because Alphonso Davies may want to leave Bayern, and there are a lot of bids for him from Real Madrid and the clubs abroad. Now, Bayern would want to replace Alphonso Davies, and one of the key players, Atletico Mario Plotty, say they are looking at Brandt and Alphonso Davies because he is very, very important on and off the ball. Highly technical and fullback in there. Have a lot of experience from the English Premier League to the Championship, gone on to playing abroad before, and he is quality palm in their regard. So they would want to make sure they get him away from team my friend Bayern, and that's exactly what Chelsea wanted. So bidding war on players between two teams, so they can push for a very high fee and get any of the players not to come in. One of the best news I ever is almost every player beyond play before the international break is almost returning. Romeo Lavia returning, Wesley Fofana returning, Reece James returning, bench Christopher Nkunku, all of them are returning. Chelsea has a big game against Burnley in the weekend, and then of course it's going to be important to have some of these players at the last stretch. And internet Chelsea Fred Abrante Fred Kani Chukwuemeka to come back, come and prepare, get match fitness, and be able to play in the games that are going to go on from now to the end of the season. And even quite apart from that, and also Abrante Fred Kobe Mainoo in the game against England was brilliant. Kobe Mainoo, brilliant player. And there was a time where Gibon slowed down, changed gear from first to third gear, and then quickly that plays forward to Jude Bellingham. That was set up that Ivan Toney goal. And I think that I love everything that Kobe Mainoo was. You see, Conor Gallagher is my man. In central areas, deep with Declan Rice. The profile next to Declan Rice should not be a Conor Gallagher. He is erratic. Outside areas. You need him up top as a box attacker, and then also a second ball winner, the counter press leader when him on him. You don't necessarily need him in deeper areas. And Kobe Mainoo for me is the guy with Curtis Jones next to Declan Rice, and he was excellent on the ball in terms of that quality and I think that the Euros is going to be exciting in the summer. Of course, James Hardy will give you the best of all the previews, all the analysis, and when the game starts, you still can stay with us. Of course, Medina still remains Fifi, my friend. If you've not subscribed, you will subscribe to the channel and turn on notification in there. Make sure you do choose all. Let me hear from you in the comment section, and God bless you for sharing the content. See you until then. Bye.